Hello and welcome to the video. In today's video, we're going to do a little recap of my weekend down in Nebraska for the 10th annual Nebraska Challenge, the model car show and swap meet down there. We'll go over the events. Of course, we got some stash ads, and if we picked up any hardware. If you guys seen the show coverage, you might have a little inside scoop on that. But again, I want to talk about the weekend and then get into the stash ads. First, thank you is to my parents for making it possible, driving me down there, hotels, even a little belated birthday gift and present, dinner, all of that. So it was a real treat there. Again, making these trips absolutely possible by helping me out there. Next big thank you is to Mr. Terry Wilson, who originally sent me the flyer for the show, asking all the questions coming up to the show. He was very gracious with his time and answering any question I had about the show, kind of the event and everything like that. But also, we ended up having plans on Saturday to run around to hobby shops and even hit up a little IPMS show there on Saturday. So that was a real treat. I do appreciate that because I don't get to hang out with fellow hobby guys that often, especially not going to hobby shops together, things like that. There's no hobby shops in my area. There's no other modelers that I know of in my area. So again, that was a real treat, and I do appreciate you taking the time to do that. It was great to meet the AK Collectibles owner. He's a fantastic gentleman and has a fantastic shop to boot. New stuff, especially the vintage stuff that has my heart. You just don't get to see that a lot. As far as I do, basically a Hobby Lobby is about all I can get to within an hour. So real gem of a place. And again, thanks for the experience, Terry. Also, Terry donated to me a little bottle of splash paints. I've never tried any of these paints. The splash, the scale finishes, MCWs, anything like that. You know, talking about paints, he decided he would be gracious enough to donate a bottle for me to try a splash. It's what he uses a lot, so why not? We'll give it a go. As far as hobby shop stash ads, not much. We're really kind of holding the budget for the big day on Sunday, but we did grab a couple of things and basically just supplies. We got some thinner here, Miss Loving thinner, and a couple cans of the Tamiya Fine Primer, stuff that I would normally have to ship in. I'm going to use, so might as well grab it and have it on hand. We got one more thing on Saturday after having dinner. We swung by, or driving by Hobby Lobby, so might as well swing in, check it out. 40% off, nothing special there, but we did pick up a clearance style kit for $7.50. Can't pass that up. Any kit, great kits. I have built this one before as a little kind of racer, so maybe we'll build it as a stalker or possibly use it as a little raffle or donation to a model car show that I'm going to be putting on this summer. Local to me, again, just putting on a show without knowing anybody in the area, so we'll see how that turns out on that. That wraps it up for Saturday. Now move on to Sunday for the big day. Of course, get in and register right at 9 o'clock, kind of when the doors open. Terry, and then meeting Taylor Braun from Two Talls, kind of all at the registration table. Kind of cool to meet everyone right away, exchange some shop cards, all that, and then get our stuff on the tables. First thing I picked up in the vendor areas is 4 bodies and a bumper. I got 4 bodies for $10. The reason I picked up these bodies is because I've been looking for some Finn cars to do them kind of morphed hot rods. That's what I call them. I'm not sure what they're called, but I love fins and chromed era, big fin stuff, but I also like hot rods. So seeing these morphed kind of combos really inspires me to want to build some. So that's what I've been on the hunt for, is some Finn car stuff. First one up, we got a couple of promos and a couple of plastic car kits. As you can tell, this promo body has seen some better days. This is a Joan. This is the 58 Dodge. Again, for $250, we've got a good bumper up front. We got a good bumper in the back, and we even have taillights, so definitely worth the price of admission. But the rest of the body, not so sure about. Kind of went happy with a lighter or something, getting the axles out of it. But again, we got bumpers, taillights. Maybe we can use these fins for one of those morphed hot rods. I do believe there is a real one out there with these exact quarters on there, but if not, maybe there's a resin out there. Guys, let me know if there's a resin kind of copy of one of these kits that I can just swap these bumpers onto. Still a great looking car as far as a Finn car, so definitely a good score to get those bumpers nonetheless. Next one up, just another kind of a junker promo body. This one's really stripped down, nothing to it, but it's an unusual one. 57 Plymouth Belvedere. Again, it's got some great quarters. It looks fairly straight, so we could possibly use it for one of those little hot rods. Again, for basically $2.50 a piece. Might as well grab it so you got it. Next couple are plastic bodies, so they are straight, but again, just kind of beat up. No roof on the 60 DeSoto, no taillights, no bumpers, no nothing. We got some great quarter panels for that hot rod. I think this one would make a really sweet hot rod with those long sloping fins. I think could make a really mean looking kind of morphed hot rod. Again, that's a great buy there. And the last one is this, I believe this is a 59 Olds 98. Again, I wish it had the flat top on it. I would love to build one of these flat top GMs, but here it is, 4-door. We've got some pretty good. We got a little broken corner here, but again, if we're going to customize it and make a hot rod, we can do something. But we've at least got taillights. Those are worth something, at least for the couple bucks. We got some quarters or at least some taillights for the future, because I've learned that taillights can be a real problem in finding for kits. I think I got 4 or 5. I've just basically been hunting for taillights or headlights or something like that, just so I could start the project. So we got that. I did get this separately. I believe it's off that same Olds there. This was $10 by itself, so you know how much those bumpers are worth. But that's just a great looking GM bumper. Maybe we pick up a resin kit. Maybe we make a hot rod. So that does it for that kind of that first grab. Super excited to grab that, because the other model events I've been to, there hasn't been much for parts and kind of swap meaty type stuff. It's just basically been kind of new sealed kit type stuff on the shelf. So this swap meet and vendor area was absolutely awesome. Again, just absolutely great selection from the new to the vintage, tons of vintage stuff. It was hard not to completely empty the wallet there, that's for sure. Another vendor area or swap meet was totes of kind of random detail parts. Lots of great scores. It was definitely worth digging through. Morgan Automotive Detail Distributor for $2. Got that. Bonus $3. We got a pair of photo etched LaSalle grills for the 36 Ford. Here we got another photo etch set for the 32 Ford 3-window from Revell. That is the full photo etch set for $6. We got a Chevy small block scale repro set. Looks like we're missing one of them out of the front bag, but we've got a coil there and a nice little air cleaner there. Looks like a pretty detailed air cleaner. Again, for like $1. Can't go wrong with that. $3 for the carburetor linkage and hardware. Again, great prices. Worth digging through those stashes. Little totes on the table. 57 custom, but they're actually the Ford Edsel wagon taillights. My favorite taillights of all time. Those cool, just kind of boomerang style taillights. I've got plenty of the plates, but I have very few of the taillights, so I had to grab it just for the lights themselves, because they are my favorite lights. And last there, $1 for some ignition wires. Again, definitely worth the dig on that. Excited to get those. Not much of a detail guy, but if you can get them cheap, why not? And on to the big purchases of the weekend. We'll start off with this guy right here. I don't know if you guys know about these striped boxes, but there's no AMT logo. This is an AMT kit, but they are part of kind of the Ford promo series. I think they were gifts or something. But I think there's 5 of them. I have 5. I believe that's all of them. There's the 32 Roadster, there's the 32 Vicky, 36 Ford, the 25T, and the Lotus powered by Ford. That are all in these kind of blank boxes that were given out by the Ford Motor Company. I've got a couple of these, so why did I buy one of these? Well, it's the other thing that comes with it, and that's the original shipping box. Again, it says the 32 Ford Roadster all over it. Again, seeing that cool stamp right from the Ford Motor Company. Got to pick them up. And all of these boxes fit perfectly. Each one is kind of a different size in this series, so they've all got special boxes. I've got 3 or 4 of these now with the original shipping containers, and that's why I had to just pick this one up, hopefully to get the whole series with the original shipping containers. Not much of a collector, but this is kind of one thing that I've decided that they're just too neat. I like the dealer dealer connected stuff, even like the Yenko stuff, Ball in Motion, all that stuff. Kind of the dealer stuff really kind of gets me. And the big one is the Joan 3-in-1. Definitely a gem. I would absolutely love to get all these 3-in-1s. I love customizing stuff. So I've been on the hunt for this one. I like my GMs. So this is the first one I had to hunt for. And that's the old Starfire. Again, you can pick up the oldies kits pretty regularly, but it's hard to find these 3-in-1 kits. And this box is pretty gem mint as it is. Again, that old Starfire, all the cool custom stuff. And as gem as the outside is, the inside is just as gem. I think it's 80% on the trees. So this is a great buy. I'm not really a collector. I'm after all those cool customizing parts. So we're going to build one of these custom Starfires. Again, hopefully get a bunch of these Johans. Not that I'm a collector, but to get those cool old school customizing stuff. So those are the two big ones. And those come from AK Collectibles. I actually seen him in the shop on Saturday. I knew he was going to the show, so I told him to bring him with to the show because I wasn't sure how the budget was going to shake out. Looked around, wasn't anything else that really needed my money more than these. So to jump on him, he gave me a smoking deal. So super happy to bring those home. And right at the end, there was a gentleman, I think there was, God, there had been 200 of these built-ups on the table. He had bought a massive collection from one guy. They're all pretty decent built-ups. I'd looked over it, but you know, so many, it's easy to lose one. And right at the end, kind of waiting for the awards, I kind of browsed through it again. And look what I happened to pick up. Another old Starfire. This one being built up. It's a pretty clean build. It's got all the parts. It's got the taillights. It's got good looking bumpers. Even got some cool wheels on there. We got Craigers up front, and I believe those are Hearst on the back. I believe the interior is even unpainted on this. It's got a pretty nice engine. And I'm not really after any kind of built-ups, but the price was right, $20 for one of these old Starfires. So now I've got one that I can build up stock. Probably use the brand new one as a stock, and when we tear this one down, we can put the custom parts on this in case we booger up anything taking it apart. But it is so nice that it can absolutely sit on the shelf as is until we are ready. Again, there was 150, 200 of these. They're nice builds, nothing spectacular, just nice clean builds. And for 20 bucks, I'm gonna be all over that. So that will wrap up the stash ad. Super excited about all of those. Those scratched off a lot of wanteds on my list. So definitely excited about that. Let me kind of reset here real quick. We'll grab some awards. All right, before we get into hardware, I do want to mention this. I may have mentioned it earlier, but I had to retake the first segment because I forgot part of my stash ad. So I just want to make sure I do cover this again. Thank you to everyone that I met at the show on Sunday. It was absolutely great to meet you. We were there right at 9 o'clock, kind of as the doors open for registration. Sat down at the table. Right after me sitting down comes in Terry Wilson. So again, great to meet him right away at the registration tables. A couple guys behind him comes in Taylor Brown from Two Talls. So having all three of us together right away to meet, exchange shop cards, just kind of talk out the morning, and then of course meet up later on in the afternoon. But it was really cool just to be connected right away at registration, and then go throughout the day, meeting a ton of great people there. Not a bad person in the crowd that I met. There's some guys from KC Slammers that we talked to. Just kind of all over, lots of conversations, of course, about my paint jobs, my builds, talking about other people's builds, so on and so forth. And just lots of great conversation, upcoming shows, things like that. So great to meet the vendors, great to meet the participants, and just other spectators. So I do want to say thank you to everyone for having a great show. Just a great experience all around. So I want to make sure I got that in there if I missed it again in that first part. So let's get on to that hardware. We'll start her off right here. Street Machine. We picked up a third place. That was probably one of the biggest classes there at the show, was Street Machine. So putting a third in your hands is pretty good. Lots of great builds all across the board on the tables. So definitely honored. We picked up a third with the Plymouth Roadrunner, the USAC build, the multicolored machine, stock on one side, multicolor on the other. Obviously, always a great conversation piece there with that one. Always popular. Definitely the Mopar guys love that one. So again, third place kind of tells you the story on how tough the competition was. So definitely honored to pick up a third there. And I do believe Terry Wilson picked up a first place in the street machine class with his Nova, which is a beautiful car. I absolutely love that one. Next up, hardware. We've got competition straight line. We picked up a first place. This one was pretty surprising, and I kind of forgot that it happened with this vehicle, that I picked up a first place in competition straight line, because that is my 34 Ford pickup, which we did for the small scale, or the scale build of Gentleman, which is that roadster built pickup. It hasn't always done the best at other shows, so it's kind of time and place, different judges judging differently. So again, picking up a straight line first place with that guy, definitely appreciate it. I do enjoy that build. I put a lot into it, so picking up a first with that is definitely an honor. So again, tough competition. I do believe Terry placed in that one, so beating out Terry's 56 Chevy, a pretty hard test there. Next up, we've got a first place in box stock. Definitely another one, kind of a little surprised. Another one, of course, I enjoy my build. This is the 54 Chevy Gasser sedan delivery, the green camo paint job. That one is 100% box stock, so it kind of fits in there. Of course, with the little extra paint job and decals, definitely turns some heads. But picking up in first place with that one. Again, another one that hasn't done well in other places, but great to get rewarded here with a first place. Next up, we have modified box stock. I think this class should be everywhere. Definitely kind of my appeal of modified box stock. Just all kit parts, no aftermarket parts, so you can do your kit bashing and all of that, which is kind of a lot of what I like to do. So having a modified box stock, I think, should be everywhere. I know it's kind of hard to police it, but definitely a class I wish there was more of. But first place in modified box stock, and that was with the 63 Ford Galaxy, the multicolored gasser, one we built for my 500 subscriber giveaway. Of course, that one did really well, which is awesome. Again, another one that was popular with the paint jobs. Again, that's pretty much a box stock build with a wheel swap, and I think we put a swapped in racing seat, and otherwise that thing is box stock and a paint job. So again, a class I wish was more places is modified box stock. Happy to pick up a first place. Again, another one of my favorite cars. I think they're all my favorites, but it is what it is. Custom, we picked up a first place in custom as well. So we picked up 4 first place and a third place at the event. Custom class, we had the 65 Pontiac 2+2 with the cool chop top, slam to the ground. Got the candy paint, even color shift in there. Definitely a big talker of the show. A lot of people approached me about that one, so that was fun to talk about. Glad it did well there at the show. Again, first place in custom is definitely an honor because I love doing custom cars, so I definitely like that one. So again, picked up 4 first place and a third place. But for those that actually watched the coverage, know that there's more coming, and these kind of blew me away. We've got, what is this one here? We got a big one. This one is best engine overall at the show. Again, pretty big honor. Definitely one that I was not really expecting because of the vehicle. That is the 34 Ford Roadster pickup. We have the VCG resins in it. I put a lot of work into it. I put throttle linkage in it. It's got fuel lines. It's fully plumbed and wired. It's got electrical wire to like the headlights, to the coil and all that. So getting a best engine honor with that one is pretty darn cool. Again, like that truck hasn't done well in other places because I think it's that little rougher paint job just doesn't hit home with a lot of them. But getting rewarded with a best engine is totally unexpected, but definitely an honor to receive. And one last one here. We picked up another big award, and that is Best Paint. And that was, of course, that 65 Pontiac Custom 2+2. Like I said, a lot of guys were talking about it. Everybody was just hovering around it and talking. So definitely an honor. I love paint. I love custom. So as you can tell, it's a big honor to me to pull a best paint. So that'll wrap it up for the 2024 Nebraska Challenge kind of recap. Again, thank you to everybody that puts on the show, everybody that's at the show. It was a really great atmosphere, and hopefully we can do it again sometime. And with that, we'll see you next time.